Baba to turn to T.
Hold on, buddy, we gotta start the vlog. What's up, guys? Good to see you. Welcome to today's vlog. It's gonna be kind of a wild and crazy day. If you're new to this channel, please make sure you subscribe. We got a lot of good content coming your way. Also, if you're on a mission to change your life, if you're interested in doing the ketogenic diet, we can help. You can sign up for our free program, join our free community. You do that by going to ketoquest.com. I'll put a link in the description below. So as usual, the day has gotten started off pretty crazy at the Whit Rocks. We're gonna say good morning to little baby sweetheart Sawyer. Hey, you wanna say hi to everybody? It's been a while. Say hi.
Hi.
So Paxton is on his way to speech therapy. It's something we've been kind of dealing with for a little while now. What'd they say they thought he has?
Apraxia of speech.
Apraxia of speech. Possibly. Basically, he's just kind of far behind on his speech. We've been working with him a lot at home, and he wants a bar.
Baba.
And he's making great progress. The people over at the speech therapy center are really awesome. So, what you got? Oh, your glasses? You gonna wear those to speech therapy? Pick up maybe a girlfriend or two while you're at speech therapy. Oh, look at you. Look at you. Want to see how cool you look? Goodbye, I love you.
I love you.
Okay, so Carly forgot her whole grain bagel as she was rushing out the door. She's gonna update you guys later on what she's doing in terms of diet. Obviously, I'm cool with whatever Carly wants to do, as long as she's mindful about her health and she's doing what makes her happy and doing what makes her feel good. I'm totally cool with it. So cool with it, in fact, that I'll rush out the door to hand her her whole grain bagel. And in my mind, I'm just thinking positive, like at least this has some natural peanut butter on it. So let me update you really quick with my experience on the carnivore diet. I did this a little over a month ago. It was bad timing because Sawyer was just born. The reason I did it was I felt like I wanted to just try it out because so many people were like, have you tried it? And the only way to give your opinion on things is to actually experience it. So I decided to only do it for 10 days. Two things really that made me decide that, because typically, as you guys know, if you've been following me, I always do things for 21 days, which I find is long enough. But 10 days was just because I was at a very fragile place mentally, and just my environment with Sawyer being here, my confidence was shook, too many things going on. And then also just my perception of how sustainable the diet was going to be in general. And I didn't want to kind of get locked in. So I just decided to do it for 10 days. My primary reason, besides just gaining experience and being able to give my feedback, was I wanted to see if it had any effect on my workout performance. I will tell you right now, 10 days was not long enough to notice a difference, but that's because it was only 10 days. It's not gonna work miracles. I realized that pretty quick. However, my energy levels did improve, which was great. I did feel like I had a lot of energy at the gym. It's just that I wasn't getting much noticeably stronger. Now, I started off very idealistically, meaning I decided to do it strict. There's two different types of carnivore. There is strict carnivore and there is flexible carnivore. Strict carnivore is just meat, salt, and water. Flexible carnivore allows you to have things like coffee. It allows you to use things like seasonings. You can use some butter and limited amounts of dairy like cheese and heavy whipping cream. But your boy decided if I'm only gonna do it for 10 days, I'm going all in strict. So the first day started off good, nothing too crazy, just decided to eat a bunch of steak. Shout out to Butcher Box. Thank God for that. I had plenty of meat delivered to my door. So I had chicken thighs, I had pork, I had different cuts of steak. So that was very, very clutch. And I was just eating meat all day long and I'm thinking this is gonna be easy. And then about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll never forget this moment. All of a sudden, I started getting a massive headache. I'm talking like paralyzing, can't think straight, just have to sit down and relax. It was after my workout, I remember, so I didn't know what to think. I didn't know whether to blame it on the diet or what. So I just kind of carried it through. It lingered on throughout the rest of the night. Day 2, I woke up feeling like I got sucker punched, knocked out the day before. Headache was terrible. I didn't know how I was going to carry on with my day. And I'm starting to search for answers. And I remember thinking, holy, I'm going through caffeine withdrawals. I have a caffeine addiction. And just by taking out my keto coffees in the morning, and I took out my pre-workout, which has a lot of caffeine, my body was really fighting me back. And so that threw me through a huge loop. I kind of started to panic thinking, oh my God, I'm not gonna be able to do this strict anymore. I have to throw in coffee. I fought it out for day 2. Guys, I gave it like my best effort. No joke. Didn't get a lot done that day, but I stayed strict. Day 3, woke up, just had to succumb to it, and I had black coffee. That fixed the problem. I still did not add in pre-workout. I just wanted to see if taking a little bit of black coffee would help. Indeed, it did. So I continued on for the rest of the 10 days having black coffee, and I have to admit, I did kind of acquire a taste for black coffee. So the next day after that, I don't know if since I cracked and I was no longer doing it strict, and I felt like I'd already cheated even though it wasn't really a cheat, that like I was giving myself excuses, but I really missed butter. Like really missed it. I have to cook with butter in the pan. I can't just throw it in there. You can't use oil on carnivore. So I allowed myself to have butter. Then the following day, actually it was day 6, I started getting crazy weird sugar cravings, which never ever happened on keto. Like I hardly ever get sugar cravings. I don't know why it was happening. Perhaps just because I felt so limited, but I reached for the cheese and that helped huge. Okay, so that took us to day 10. I have to admit, I was ready for this whole thing to be done by day 10. I just wanted to get back to keto. I think my experience overall was positive, but as I suspected, for me personally, it was not sustainable. And I think it wasn't sustainable because it wasn't really necessary for me to do. You see a lot of these stories out of the carnivore community where people are losing tremendous amounts of weight, where they're correcting autoimmune diseases and disorders. Had I had either of those situations, it would have been necessary and I would have been more willing to kind of stick with it and eat such a limited amount of things. When I say it's not sustainable, it's just because it's not really necessary for me and my goals. I did not get sick of steak. I did not get sick of eggs. I could have done it. Like it wasn't like punishment or anything like that. It's not like I was starving myself, for God's sakes. I was eating high quality steaks and cheese and eggs and things. I didn't really miss vegetables at all. Like there wasn't a point during the 10 days where I was like, oh my God, I need broccoli or I need some spinach, or like I even didn't miss nuts or seeds really for that matter. So that was kind of surprising. So anyways, guys, that was my experience with the carnivore diet. The only way to find out if it's something that's right for you is to just do it. I suggest if you do it, unless you have some serious issue that you're trying to correct, I would not advise doing it strict. I think that having things like cheese and some heavy cream and butter is okay, and coffee as well. It definitely works. If you take a look at Primal Bro, this cat right here is one of the Keto Quest coaches. He is a carnivore specialist. He's lost a tremendous amount of weight with it. And so with his guidance, it might be something that you'd be interested in. You can go look him up on Instagram. It's at Primal Bro.
2 hours later.
Hey, what's up? Max is here. Say hi, Max. Give him a 5. What in the...
Dude, you need to get him into like gymnastics.
See them abs. Let's see them abs. How is speech therapy?
Good.
You making progress?
Yeah.
There you go.
She just slept.
Our perfect angel child. Never gonna do anything wrong her entire life.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
All right, Daddy's gonna go work out. Mwah. All right, guys, so we are now back home. We got to kind of keep it down because Carly, Paxton, and Sawyer are sleeping. Sitting here with my boy, Keto Chef Max. What are you drinking? A Zevia?
A little bit of a Zevia.
A little bit of a little Zevia action going on. So somehow Max wasn't hungry after that workout. I was borderline starving to death.
Oh, but do you know why?
Why?
I'll tell him about it.
Why?
I had a carb day.
Yes, Max finally, full disclosure. I love full disclosure in YouTube. So Max had a carb day. I was going to tell you what was on my plate, but Max just made things a little bit interesting. Let's hear about this carb day, bro.
All right, so I haven't had a carb day in like months.
This is significant because Max is type 1 diabetic.
Yeah, so, you know, I knew of the effects of that were going to happen, and I'm dealing with them for the last 2 days, you know, but I had a lot of fun. You know, I went out and I went to Voodoo Donuts.
So with his girlfriend M, so he had an accomplice.
Yeah, and we downed about like 8.
Sorry, M.
Down to 8 donuts whole and everything. And
From Voodoo Donuts?
Yeah, from Voodoo Donuts. So you all know they have some crazy donuts. I didn't get anything yeasted because I'm highly allergic to yeast. But every donut in there was crisp.
Keep confessing. What else do we have?
So we also picked up a new exclusive flavor from Ben & Jerry's. I love me some ice cream. I will get down on ice cream any day of the week, you know, so that was a nice little treat to have. And then also we hit up Taco Bell. You gotta have like some dirty Mexican food that's super salty.
A little T-Bell.
Yeah.
I love Taco Bell, so does Carly.
Yeah, so you know, you gotta cap off all that sweetness with some good salts, you know.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so the repercussions were just violent, right? Because this is the thing. In the moment, great.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling you were like, you knew it was coming. I guarantee
so,
it.
You know, like I dosed appropriately for my meal and everything.
Your insulin, you mean?
Yeah, for my insulin, and I waited the appropriate amount to do this, but you know, given the fact that you might be sitting around and not doing anything, and you get up and you move around a lot more, it's gonna spike it more. So my blood sugar was skyrocketing all over the place, going up and down. And considering that we had a lot of fat and a lot of carbs, my body didn't know which to process. So my blood sugar was going all over the place. So I got under control the next morning. But as soon as I hit the gym and everything and got up this morning earlier than normal, like my blood sugar was skyrocketing because the glycogen stores had been filled and they were depleted, you know.
God.
So I was tired too, and a little bit of brain fog happened, you know, here and there, and I would forget things, but yeah, this was normal stuff.
It's okay. I mean, that's normal. I mean, you and M had a good time. You knew
we lived. That's the
you
thing,
lived,
we
yeah.
lived.
And it's not like you're going to be having another cheat meal for a long time, and you're not planning it out. That's the thing.
No.
Like, you're not saying, okay, I'm going to do another one 3 weeks from now or 2 weeks from now. It's just whenever.
Yeah, but guess what we started? You know, we started Jason's 10 commitments.
Yes,
Yeah.
which we're going to talk about later, but the 10 commitments is going to be part of the new Keto Quest program. I'm extremely excited to announce that. So right after the cheat meal, they committed, and that's the most important thing. You got to make a commitment. In my opinion, committing to the right things is very, very important. So that's good to know. Guys, you know, it's life.
Yeah.
It's cool. What matters the most is that you recommit, like he just said. It's in the past. He's going to deal with it. I cheat. Max cheats. Everybody cheats. The difference is not everybody gets back up after the fact. So thank you for sharing that with us, man. It makes you a little more human. I respect that big time.
Yeah.
And I don't want anybody out there to think that me and Max are like the perfect keto gods or any shit like that. Like, we're just two dudes living busy lives.
The way that I look at my food, man, is I want to eat good food
Yeah.
any time of the day, whenever I feel like it,
Yeah.
and I want to enjoy life.
Speaking of good food, this right here is chicken thighs from Butcher Box, guys. I'm going to put a link in the description below for you to check out Butcher Box. It's super high quality meat delivered to your door. It can kind of be expensive, but it's worth it. And if you do order it, make sure you order the chicken thighs. I think it's probably one of my favorite things.
Yeah, it is.
From them. Like, it's surprisingly
Fatty.
Yeah, and I
It's
love
good.
it. I never ate chicken thighs until this.
I got some cool things that I really want to do with them. Just so
They're
you know.
so good.
Yeah.
And I just saute them in butter, and also I used Caribbean. I use Caribbean seasoning. Shout out to Caribbean for
seasoning.
hooking us up with that stuff.
Which one did you use?
The Calypso. So they
Calypso
have
seasoning is awesome.
it's fantastic. It's got a little bit of cinnamon in it, so it gives like the chicken thighs not a sweet
Caribbean
taste.
feel.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Also, we've got some tomato and mozzarella. Typically, I put some balsamic vinaigrette on this, but I didn't. I just ate it plain. And I'll tell you this: I was telling everybody about the carnivore challenge.
Yeah.
And the very first thing I did run back to that was outside the carnivore realm was tomatoes. I don't know why. I feel like tomato like breaks up the meat, overwhelming meat, you know, like.
No, tomatoes come off as a little bit more beefy, but
And it's a fruit, so.
yeah, and
Technically, I didn't run back to the vegetables.
they're
I ran back to the
actually-
fruit. And avocado is another thing I ate right away, but that's
They're-
also a fruit.
So another thing that's a little chefy is they're full of umami. So you can get a lot of the sweet, savory, salty
Man.
flavors that you get in those umami flavors. You
Yeah.
know? They're just I love tomatoes. They're flavor bombs, bro.
They're awesome, dude.
Yeah.
There's like a big world of them. Not all tomatoes are created equally, you know. That's what I
Yeah.
like about it as well.
I can't wait for spring.
Yeah, it's going to be
I'll tell ya.
awesome. Yes. All right.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Okay, so Paxman is awake from his nap. You want some olives? No, but you're eating them. This is like a dream come true for me, is to have my son enjoy healthy snacks. I will admit that he does have more sugar than he's supposed to have. It's hard to keep him away from like bars. Even if I say the word bars, I freak out because I think he's gonna want to grab one. But he does love olives, and olives are very healthy for you. What are you smiling at? We had a great time shooting this video today. I know it has been a while since we, the Whitrocks, have vlogged. I'd be lying to you if I told you that life was easy, because it has not been very easy for us. We don't have any family here in Austin, and that's difficult when you are trying to raise 2 young children, but we are doing our best. Carly and I are working hard every single day to keep this family strong and growing and focusing on what's important. And I will tell you this. Since Sawyer's been born, I've taken a lot more responsibility with Paxman here, and I feel like him and I have had a much deeper connection. And I just love him. I love Sawyer. I love Carly. I love all my friends. I love my family, and I love you guys so, so much. And no matter how hard life gets, buddy, you always have to remember why you were put on this earth. You have to believe 100% that when you're going through a storm, it will pass. And you can never lose sight of what your passion is. And I got to admit, it's easy to lose sight of that. But the vision is clear again. I am back. I'm looking forward to sharing more of my life with you guys. The mission stays the same. Change as many lives as possible and reach our full potential. So, do you want to say bye to everybody? Okay, we'll go play with the choo-choo trains. Guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Keep up the good work and much love.